But this next song is very important. Would you give me a drum roll, Ernie? Would you give me a drum roll? The San Antonio National Anthem. Here we go. Hey, baby, ¿qué pasó? Thought I was your only vato. Hey, baby, ¿qué pasó? Won't you give me un beso?
Hey, baby, ¿qué pasó? Wow. I'll tell you, ¿qué pasó? You are now listening to the winner of a $1.5 billion Mega Millions jackpot. I played, I picked my numbers, and they hit. I am now $1.5 billion richer. Yeah, right. I did play. I didn't hit any numbers. Actually, I hit one number, and I thought I was really, really going to get into the money. I hit two number 69s and a mega of 24, which is a good number for me. None of them came up, of course. But then I started thinking, what the hell would I do with that money anyway? Now, don't get me wrong. I'd love to have it. But what would change? Would anything change? Excuse me while I like this. I have a cigar, a Atabe, that was given to me by my pal Austin from 69 Golf, Austin. We've established a friendship over the last 7 months when he introduced me to the world's greatest wedge. World's sexiest golf club. And, we've just been talking, and we were talking about cigars and this and the other, and it was my birthday, so he brought one over and left me a few actually at the Tropicana shop. So I'm enjoying one this evening, warm summer evening. But anyway, let's go back. 1.5 billion. Let's say you walk out of there with $50 million. Like, what do you do? What exactly do you do? I mean, I personally, nothing would change. What do? I have 3 kids and one on the way. Like, I don't even tell them, like, what for? What would probably move for sure. I'd buy a little bit bigger house, but I would stay in the same area. I wouldn't go on vacation. I don't even like going on vacation, to tell you the truth. I don't like packing. I don't like getting on a plane, even though it'd be a private plane probably. You still have to make the move. Like, it's still you, even if there's people helping you, like, you still got to physically do it. You got to travel in the air. Yeah, it's all luxury and this and the other, and it'd probably be fun for the first 3 times. And then after that, you're like, oh God, now I got to go to, New Zealand or wherever you're trying to explore. So none of that would change. And I wouldn't buy anything ridiculous. Like, what am I going to buy? What would I buy? I'd buy a house, and then you can only live in one house at a time. Yeah, you can invest it and all that, but what fun is that? Like, what would I buy for fun? What would I buy to say, I just won $1.5 billion? I mean, I eat the food that I love. It's not like I'd start buying expensive food. I wouldn't even want to drive a car. I guess that would change. Like, what's the point? I would just hire somebody to drive me. I hate driving. Like, what else would I do? But even if I drove and had a really nice car, where would I go? I don't want to go anywhere. I like staying home. I like going to the golf course. I like watching my kids play sports. That's it. Like, I don't have any interest in exploring. I'm not an explorer by any means. If the Columbus movement or the go west young man, forget it. If it was up to me, none of that would have been explored. I've been like, nope, I'm good. I'm going to stay right here and just keep doing what I'm doing because it's nice here. I'm not getting on any ship to go explore anything. So anyway, I don't know how my life would change. I would just have a bigger bank account. My kids would have more money when I died, but I don't know. What am I going to do? Smoke a more expensive cigar? What for? I like this. So I guess money does change you. Because you can only imagine. But then once you do have it, things become more realistic. You have a bigger payroll, and there's more people and more mouths to feed for sure. But that's why I think I would keep it kind of undercover. I definitely wouldn't do anything flashy or, you know, what for? What am I doing? But I guess that would be a good problem to have is to start thinking, what would I do to spend all this money? And I got even deeper into thinking, like, what would I do with charity? You'd have to give some money to charity, but I don't know. So many charities are like a scam, I feel like, because the CEO is always loaded and everybody else is just there to collect money for the needy, and everybody else is like, you know, wealthy. And the dude at the top is making all the money. I don't know. Maybe that's just ignorance on my part, but I think I would have to do my own. Maybe I'd start my own charity and I'd make sure I knew where the money was going to the individuals themselves. That's actually a pretty good idea. Because I couldn't sit on that money. Like, what the hell would I do? I wouldn't give it to my kids immediately. There's no way. I'd put some away that in a way that they can only get X amount per their lifetime per year. Because, you know, why? Maybe make them get a job and work and at least do something that they love so they're not grinding away. But the grind is the fun part. So anyway, I don't know what you would do. Maybe that'd be fun. I'd like to hear what some of you would do. I guess a guilty pleasure would be maybe I'd buy like my own golf course. But what the hell's the fun of that? Well, I guess I could invite my friends. But I think the joy would be maybe I'd get a golf course, maintain it, and let people play for free. I think that would be something I would get joy out of, letting people come out, try the game. Big deal. You pay the staff to maintain it. Now, that could be naive. This could be hundreds of millions of dollars a year that I'm talking about, and water bills and this and the other. So that might be a foolish investment, quote unquote investment. I don't know. I'd have to do something. And I'd have to do something that would bring me joy. Material goods don't bring me joy. I mean, I don't buy anything expensive. I don't even like anything expensive. I have shoes that are $80. That's all I buy. Reebok vintage. My clothing is vintage. My car's not vintage, but like I said, I don't even want to drive. My kids have what they need. So I don't know. Maybe it would go wasted on me. There's just people that need the money. So maybe it's good. It's a good thing I didn't win it. But anyway, that's the topic that was at hand tonight. It just ended about an hour ago. And they drew the numbers, and I was watching them draw the numbers. Because I think secretly you want to win, right? Like it'd be a great problem to have, like I said earlier. But then it would become a problem, I think. And then could you imagine if people found out? Like, what the hell? Imagine everybody just coming out, hey, I have this problem, I have this problem. Now you have a burden with all these people that need money. And do they really need money? Who knows? And what do they need it for? That's too bad. You know, the last time I did this, or 2 times ago, the podcast, I had a guy on the other line watching me do it. And I thought he was going to be there forever. And then the company cut him loose and said, you got it under control. You're good. We just had him the first time to make sure everything went right, which I kind of miss him. I never knew the guy's name. I called him Stu. And I got a couple messages from people like, why did you come up with the name Stu? And that's just something I've said for a long time. And whenever there's a guy that I don't know, just call him Stu. I go, well, why? Well, Stu is short for stupid. And that's just something that as a kid growing up, that's what everybody said. And it's kind of rude now, and I get that. I didn't mean any disrespect to the kid. He was a kid. He was 23 years old or 24 or something. But Stu is stupid. So whenever I hear somebody, or whenever you hear me say, hey, Stu, or call somebody Stu, that's the reason. It's short for stupid. Like Brad Pitt's brother, Stu Pitt. Anyway, it's Tuesday night, Taco Tuesday. Rager of a day today. Rager. Sat home and did the first and second quarter of financials for the website. You got to reconcile these things. You got to look at everything that goes out and everything that comes in and make sure that everything matches. And as you know, Manolo sells his items on my website. So he was over here and we had to go line by line and make sure that everything was accurate. So for 9 hours, we sat in my living room and looked at every dollar that came in and every dollar that went out. I'll tell you what, it's not as fun as it sounds. And, you know, we both have our accountants and this and the other, but we still, I don't know, kind of old school. Like you gotta look after your investment. So that's what we did all day. And about 6:30, we got hungry. And there's a place here in Glendora, California, called House of Tacos and Sandwich. It's sandwich, not sandwiches. It's sandwich. House of Tacos and Sandwich. It's on Route 66 across the street from the Donut Man. And if you ever have the opportunity, go in and get a grilled chicken plate with corn tortillas. It comes with rice and beans, a jalapeno, and this spicy sauce that you can add it at will. And I'm telling you something. It is a 10 out of 10. I didn't say 7. I didn't say 8.5. I didn't even say 9. It's a 10. And you must try it. If you are a chicken connoisseur, I love chicken. Chicken's my jam. I could eat chicken breakfast, lunch, and dinner like Nacho. I'll tell you a good story. I got a guy named Nacho that's in the Tropicana Club. I love Nacho. Nacho's the best. Nacho's a dude from El Monte, something like that. And Nacho plays on the defensive all the time. Nacho, what'd you do tonight? What'd you do tonight, dog? Don't worry about it. It's that kind of vibe. I love him. He's great. But it's always that. It's always don't worry about it. It's always like whatever. Don't even think about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. So the other night we were talking, and I'm naturally inquisitive. Nacho, what time do you go to bed? Whatever time I want, fool. All right. Well, it's just a question, man. Like I'm interested in knowing. I love these kind of questions. I love to see what other people do in their life as opposed to what I do. Because some people's schedules and some people's, repertoires and whatever are just completely opposite than mine. And it fascinates me to hear the things that people do. Nacho drinks beer, Michelob Ultra, and I don't know. Like it just, he's like this big tough guy, and then he drinks Michelob Ultra. Like to me, that's awesome because it's like I'm a Sour Patch Kid. Like first they're sour, then they're sweet. Like who drinks Michelob Ultra, Nacho? It blows my mind. But anyway, so I'm talking to Nacho. Nacho, what do you eat for breakfast? Like that's a real question. Like it's just like this big dude, like, OG. Like it's the OG. Like, what do you eat for breakfast? And he looked at me and he goes, chicken. Who eats chicken for breakfast, bro? That's what he told me. So anyway, that's on my topic of chicken. I love chicken. I love fried chicken. And I'm not a connoisseur. I used to have a buddy played drums in my band, and he was a connoisseur of fried chicken. And he knew what places had the best fried chicken, when to go, what to order. He even found an all-you-can-eat KFC. It used to be down in like Lake Elsinore. You'd see it off the freeway. And he found it, and he went. And he said it was like walking into paradise. Now, could you imagine an all-you-can-eat fried chicken, mashed potatoes, gravy, whatever the hell else they serve in there? Like, that was his dream. And one time we went to Atlanta, Georgia for a show. We were hired to play a party. They flew us down there. Everything was great. You know, we flew first class and the whole thing. They took all our instruments. It was awesome. We had a great time. But all I remember from the trip was that every single place that we went served fried chicken. And every single place that we went, we ordered fried chicken. I ate fried chicken probably 20 times in 2 days. And it was an absolute marvelous time. Now, I got more of that. But you know what goes great with fried chicken? Check this out.
When the only sound is the frozen silence of winter, you go to work, throwing mountains of snow back into the sky. And when the track becomes a railroad again, it's Miller time. Time to head for the best tasting beer you can find, Miller High Life.
If you've got the time, we've got the beer. Miller Beer. Miller Beer.
Fried chicken and a Miller High Life. Now we're talking, buddy. So anyway, we go to a supermarket in Atlanta. And let me tell you something. You've never been to a supermarket in the suburbs of Atlanta? You're doing yourself a disservice. It's like the craziest scene you've ever seen. There's people running around all over the place. Hundreds of people. It was insane. It was like they were giving away food. I couldn't understand. And it was a regular supermarket. And we go in and we go to get something for lunch. And they had a deli. Now, they have delis here. And you know how they have chicken in there and pasta and macaroni salad and broccoli and tuna salad. Well, this place didn't have any of that. It had fried chicken. That's all it had. It had fried chicken, and then next to it was fried chicken. And they had one of those big glass enclosures. And when I tell you that there was at least 1,000 pieces of fried chicken in this enclosure. No lie. 1,000 pieces. And I remember looking at my buddy and I said, I know what you're thinking. He goes, what? I said, you just want to climb inside that enclosure and take a nap. And we still laugh about that to this day because he knew that I was right. So anyway, fried chicken, any type of chicken really is my jam. But fried, just, I don't know. There's just something about fried chicken. My grandma's fried chicken. My grandma used to make fried chicken. She's Cuban. She used to make fried chicken. And it was something that the entire family, people would request it. Cousins, relatives, can you please make fried chicken for us? I mean, you can get fried chicken anywhere. But her fried chicken was something else. I don't know. It was a little bit different than, traditional American fried chicken. There was something else going on in there. But I mean, I would eat the skin. Like, it was crunchy and it was good. And my cousin would always tell me that my grandmother's chicken fat and Tylenol is what he would eat every Saturday morning because he drank on Friday night. And he goes, tell your grandma you need chicken fat and Tylenol and you'll get over your hangover. I've never actually tried that, but I probably should. Anyway, so maybe I'd use that $1.5 billion. Just eat chicken every day, fried chicken. It'd probably last 15 years and then I'd be into it. But those 15 years, man, I'll tell you something. So anyway, to go back to this place, I'm a chicken connoisseur. House of Tacos and Sandwich. Do yourself a favor today, tomorrow, whenever you're listening to this, look it up, find out what time they're open, get over there and get yourself a grilled chicken plate. rice and beans, jalapeno, and of course, obviously, a Diet Coke. You will not regret it. And to me, it's one of the best restaurants in town. It's this little hole in the wall. It's nothing. It's nothing, nothing, nothing. You'll walk in there and go, what the hell am I doing in here? But I'll tell you, when you get that food, you're going to go, this is exactly what the hell I'm doing in here. So if you're a local to this area, you're doing yourself a disservice by not eating there. Try it once a week. They have a Taco Tuesday special and all that, but I think your introductory meal is the grilled chicken plate. Ask Pollo. Pollo is also a connoisseur of chicken, as you can imagine, based on the name. And that's all he talks about every time he sees me. What's the chicken? Jimmy, it's open today, the chicken? Oh, I wanted the chicken and rice and beans, a little jalapeno spicy. Oh, son of a bitch. So really check it out. Do yourself a real honor. Treat yourself. Get yourself some chicken. And that sums up my pod, as you call it. I told you I'd be checking in with you whenever I have something to say. It's a quick little listen. Maybe I'll throw a little knowledge at you here and there. Maybe I'll give you a recommendation. Maybe I'll make your mind spin. Sometimes it's going to be intellectual. Sometimes it's going to be about fried chicken. There's not much you can do about it. Open your ears and listen. Enjoy it. Have a good time. It's off to bed I go for a 6 a.m. tea time tomorrow morning to do what I love with or without the $1.5 billion. But I hope you won. And if you did, we borrow $20. I'll see you next time.